Now, that's the restaurant. Always something happens. Yeah, I know. That's humming. It's home.
It's 5:30. Let's call the meeting to order. Need a roll call to establish a quorum. And we do have a quorum. First item on the agenda is election of chairman. Do we have a motion for chairman?
I'll nominate myself.
Aye. You, Mr. Chairman.
The second order of business is the assistant chair,
Vice Chair.
vice chair, excuse me. Any nominations? Okay. All right, nominated is Jim. I'm sorry, Marcus, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, we're gonna go to approve the minutes for the last meeting, which was, what was that? #21, 21st day of April. I'm gonna go ahead and approve the last meeting's minutes. All in favor?
I have a question. On the bottom of page 4, it says passed and approved on April 15th.
There's a typo I can correct.
Huh?
My apologies, it's a typo. We can make that correction to the minutes.
So it should be the 21st.
The date should reflect today's date.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the correction of passed and approved on April 15th. Second. 2022. Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now we have an applicant present to present their application.
Okay, is there an applicant present?
Hello, I'm Jordan Moralia. I'm one of the property owners at 110 North Bowie, as well as the neighboring property, which is a lot at this point, 603 West Boston. We're requesting a variance for a garage remodel that we're doing. It's somewhat of a limited space. The home was built in 1889.
Jordan, my apologies. We need to open the public hearing. So just one moment, please. If we could get a motion to open the public hearing?
We get a motion. Can we, all in favor of opening the public
You need
meeting?
a motion first. I'll make the motion that we open the public hearing.
Motion carries.
All in favor?
All in favor?
My apologies.
No
please
worries.
continue.
Okay, so it's a bit of a tricky spot. It's really the only place on the property that we could build this garage. There is a current garage there that's very small, and if you're familiar with the property, it definitely needs to go. So when we first designed this, we did respect that line, the property line, and setback. We worked closely with historic on this, and post historic comments, it was suggested to replace a larger, more contemporary style two-car garage door with two more carriage house style single doors. We actually really liked that concept as well, thought it softened the aesthetic of a new build and kind of fit with the existing home a little bit better. But what that did was push us out about roughly 2.5 feet. It's like 2 feet 7 inches on part of it in front, and as you go back about 2 feet 11 inches. So basically, we're asking for that variance to move forward.
Now we need a,
I'd be happy to answer any other questions. That kind of sums it up. One of the things too is that we were already closer to the historic structure than historic would like, but again, it's a limited space, so moving it, we're about, I think, almost 7 feet from the existing home, and so moving it over is not to the advantage of town. They've expressed it already in the historic meeting.
Thank you.
Since this is a public hearing, I need you to, I know there's nobody in the room, but you need to just ask if there's anybody else that wants to make a comment during this public hearing.
Does anyone else need to make a comment? I'd like to make a comment. All right, thank you.
And if not, then you need a motion and a second to close the public hearing and go back to your regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
thank you, Jordan. Jordan did a great job summarizing the project as a whole. As he mentioned, a variance request has been submitted to construct a 2-story garage fronting on West Austin Street for a property located at 110 North Bowie Street. The placement of the building as proposed would result in a 2.5-foot encroachment of the 5-foot interior side yard setback. The applicant did receive Historic Review Board approval for the construction and its placement on May 10th. Historic Review Board approval was based on board findings of exceptional design and small or irregular lot size. It is worth noting, though, that the applicant owns the vacant lot to the west on Austin Street, and the current lot size may be adjusted through an amending plat. So given the information and the findings that staff reviewed, we did not find that the property meets all of the necessary requirements to obtain a variance. Specifically, item A, the zoning regulations applicable to the property do not allow for reasonable use. The property is being utilized for the use intended by the R1 zoning district. While the interior side yard setback may create an obstacle to the desired placement of the new 2-story garage, it does not keep the property from being utilized for its intended use. So knowing that, and knowing that the property owners own the property to the west, staff recommends denial.
Has construction started? You can answer, I can hear you.
Remodeling, interior remodeling is happening right now in the historic structure. And demo on the garage will start probably later this summer. But we were waiting to kind of see how this went, and then if we needed to try to replat. This the neighboring lot is also not extremely large, so we just didn't see it in sort of anyone's interest to make it even smaller and irregular for that block.
I understand your desire to improve the property, but from what I've read from the historic preservation officer, there are 4 things that are not in compliance. It's not just one, it's 4 things. Building's too tall. They wanted the chimney presented not as something separate, but in the plans.
The chimney was removed. That
Okay.
was that comment.
And then the house is more than 50% of the allotted space. It's at 1,971 square feet instead of the allowed 1,554 square feet. And then the encroachment on the setback. And taking all that into consideration, I would have a very hard time voting to approve this, just to be honest. If it was one thing, maybe, but I'm looking at, well, if you take that one, I'm still looking at 3 things that are out of compliance. If we were to approve this, the thing that would happen is we would open a giant can of worms. Because then anybody can come in and say, well, you did this for them, why can't you do it for us? So, like on Shark Tank, I'm gonna pass.
Well, and I think the city has given them an option to replat that lot, move the line over. I know that it's very hard to get I mean, we've denied these in the past, for various reasons, but you've got an option to
Right.
get the thing accomplished, so.
Sure.
And, no, I appreciate your time here and just looking at the requirements to meet the waiver. And I think, Ms. Collier said it as well. You know, the practical use, the zoning regulations applicable to the property do not allow for reasonable use. I mean, you have a garage now and you're looking to build a newer garage, so no problem there. So, number two, the plight of the owners due to unique circumstances. However, the zoning regulations are known in advance, so it's kind of like it comes with a house. You know, if you're buying in the historic district, it comes with unique regulations. And then the last one, I understand you do own the adjacent property, but you know, if you didn't own the adjacent property, then you couldn't obligate the next owner for somebody. Can't change the zoning regulations for a property owner who doesn't exist. If you hold the property forever, it doesn't matter. You know, it's still two properties. So I'm inclined to say no, because you haven't met all three requirements. You know, if you want suggestions for solutions, we can go into that. But right now, as it is, the way I'm interpreting, I'm gonna say no as well.
Motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that this, application for a variance is denied.
All in favor?
I second.
Oh, second.
I'll second that, noting that there is an option for the to take care of the project.
I think there are multiple options, but all in favor of the voting on the motion? Well, wait, please. Got a motion, seconded,
Motion made to deny. Everybody vote.
motion made to denied.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion.
Any opposed?
Any opposed?
Adjourn.
I would note on the record that there were no public comments. Nobody signed up to make a public comment. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hate to say no, but yeah.